Welcome everyone to my first YouTube video. And did you know that you probably eat 1 ton of food per year? Yep, you heard that right. That is how much a full-grown polar bear weighs. Too cute. That's more. But what is the food actually doing in your stomach, and how does your body actually break that food into things that it can use? After all, you're not just gonna eat an apple and shit an apple back out. The tinfoil hat answer is a whole bunch of microplastics and fats to keep you lazy and broke and fat. Thank you, Professor OJ, for that very clear explanation. For everyone else that wants to learn about food, let's dive right into it. We got 10 minutes, so let's get going. You see, everything that food is made up of can really be broken down into 5 different things. We got protein, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, and vitamins. Professor OJ, would you like to give us a quick introduction to what protein is? Okay, so protein is the literal atomic source of your entire body, okay? Your protein becomes your hair, your protein becomes your muscles, your protein becomes your skin. And essentially, if Big Snack can control how much your protein intake is and make you protein deficient, they can actually control your strength, your focus, heck, even your DNA expression. So, load up on all those amino acids before they do a full genetic blueprint rewrite of you. Thank you, Professor OJ, and thank you for the spicy conspiracy. Now, back to everyone else. Proteins are really made up of these tiny little things called amino acids, and your body is really good at taking the protein source such as chicken, fish, and beans, and essentially extracting those amino acids and using it for itself. I'll give you an example. Pretty much any part of your body, whether that is your heart, your organs, your skin, your muscles, or even your hair, we're all just combinations of amino acids. And your body is a work of wonder because it's able to extract these amino acids, put them in new combinations, and deliver them to your head for a full set of hair, to your fingers for some nails, or to your muscles to kind of get a little bit bigger and put on some mass. But the question becomes, okay, you do have raw ingredients per se to build what your body is, but how does your body actually move these amino acids from your stomach up to your head, your hand, or anywhere else where you might need extra amino acids? Well, that is where an energy source is needed. And just like a car needs electricity or gas to run, your body needs energy, and not just to process proteins and extract amino acids, but also for your day-to-day life, like walking to the store or walking your dog or even breathing. All of this stuff takes energy, and just like a car, you need some kind of fuel to keep it running. And your body's favorite form of fuel and energy is carbohydrates. Carbs can be found in things like chips or sodas or pretty much anything else that is really unhealthy, and also some things that are healthy like whole grain and pasta and certain kinds of fruits and veggies. Uh-oh, class is back in session. Take it away, Professor OJ. In the 1980s, the tobacco cartel was facing a lot of regulations because people were waking up to the fact that cigarettes were not all that great for your health. And for this reason, all the tobacco companies decided to start buying up all these sugar companies and snack companies. And why, you might ask? Well, it's the next most addictive thing next to cigarettes, of course. It gives you sugar crashes where you feel lazy, you feel lethargic. That's apparently a big word that people are using nowadays. And this gives way for Big Pharma to come in and try to give you solutions for these deficiencies by providing you with endless drugs and medications that will never make you feel any better because you keep getting these sugar crashes. Professor OJ, we're not going to get monetized if you keep this up. Anyway, as I was saying, your stomach and your small intestines is where we change carbohydrates, those pesky bread, chips, sodas, fruits and veggies, into something called glucose. And glucose is the gasoline for your body. Essentially, it is the electricity, the fuel source that your body depends on and prefers. Going on a walk? That's glucose. Practicing your First Amendment right? That is glucose. Doing the dirty? You guessed it, glucose. And without doing a super deep dive into what carbs are, I'll probably have a separate video coming out soon about them. There's really just 2 types of carbs. You got the simple carbs and you got the complex carbs. Simple carbs are things like sodas, chips, and basically all the unhealthy food that you eat on a Saturday night while binging Netflix. Now, the great thing about simple carbs is that your body can actually break them down pretty easily, and once they are broken down, it's really easy for your body to get that energy and use it quickly. The only issue here is that as soon as you run out of that quick source of energy, you're gonna feel a crash, which is why if you eat a whole bunch of sugar, you get something known as a sugar crash. On the other hand, you got complex carbs. These are things like whole wheat, whole grain, and fruits and vegetables, and pretty much all the healthy food. But the next question becomes, what happens when you're sleeping or when you're fasting? Your body doesn't just shut down. Well, maybe sleep does that. Able to dream, to breathe, and all of this still requires a little bit of energy. So where does your body get that energy from? Well, to answer that question, we'll have to move into fats. You see, fats act like an energy storage facility. For every gram of fat, you're actually getting twice as much energy from it compared to a carbohydrate. And that is huge. Now, the only issue here is you don't want to load up on fats. And because fats just are a completely different type of macronutrient, your body actually takes a lot longer to break these down and to release the energy that is stored in them. And side note, that is where your body enters something called ketosis, and it's basically what keto diet is named after. Now, before we keep going, Professor OJ, would you like to take a swing at the bat and explain fats? Behave. You're dancing around the important thing here, and that is fat is not just for food storage. What the hell are you talking about? The most important thing that fat does is actually control all of your mood and all your hormones. So anytime you feel like shit and you have these mood swings, it's probably because you're not getting enough fat in your diet. And by the way, don't make me get into big pharma again, because all of this is just great coincidences that just happen to line up. Whoa. Slow down, Professor OJ. Truth is that although fats do act like a long-term storage, they actually have an even more important function. And that is to help your vitamins and minerals find a home so they can help your body. You see, a lot of vitamins and minerals are something called fat soluble. All this really means is that in order to activate the vitamins and minerals, they need to be attached to some kind of fat. You can think of this like a car without a road. The car being your vitamins and minerals, and there's no road, so there's not really anywhere it can go without fats. And since we're talking about vitamins and minerals, this might be a good transition into micronutrients. If you remember from earlier, we were talking about the two kinds of micronutrients, and these are minerals and vitamins. So let's go and talk about vitamins first. Vitamins are your body's alphabet, literally. You got vitamin A, B, C, D, and K, and it looks like they probably forgot the rest of the letters. So, Professor OJ, take it away. They sell vitamin D. You can literally get vitamin D from the sun, and they sell it. Go touch some grass, kids. I'm done. Well, that makes things easier, I guess. Anyway, vitamins are crucial for your day-to-day function and just to keep you healthy. Their main purpose is to keep you healthy and kind of take over in those little areas where macros don't really have a say in what to do. For example, one of my favorite vitamins is vitamin C. Essentially, this really helps boost your immune system and fight off diseases and illnesses. So if you're feeling sick all the time, maybe just try having an orange. There's some vitamins that help your bones stay strong, other vitamins that help with hormone production so that you can actually experience different moods. And there's even some vitamins that help with your vision. Not that kind of vision. There you go. And there's so much to talk about with vitamins, which we'll probably save it for next time. For now, let's get into minerals. Professor OJ? Okay, I guess I'm alone for this one. Now, in the last couple years, there has been this meme going on about microplastics in our bodies, especially for men. But those are not the minerals that we're going to be talking about. The minerals that I'm referring to are things like calcium, zinc, and even iron. Yep, you heard it right. We got metals in our bodies, and they're necessary. Now, before you click out of this video, most minerals are actually crucial for those even smaller subspecific tasks that your body might forget. That's right, metals like zinc and iron are crucial for your day-to-day health. For example, iron helps basically carry oxygen in your bloodstream. You heard that right. All that oxygen that you're breathing probably right now, it would not be used if it wasn't for iron, because you would not be able to deliver that into your muscles. But iron comes in, carries the oxygen, and gently delivers it to your muscle fibers or wherever else you need them. And side note, because we got all these different metals in our blood, that is why your blood tastes like metal. And no, I'm not a vampire. Anyway, let's wrap up this entire micro section by just saying that you don't need a crazy amount of micronutrients, at least not as much as you need macros, but micros are, I would argue, almost as important, if not even more important. And just getting enough is key. Now let's get into a few takeaways, which is always my favorite part of the video. So, the first lesson is you should probably eat more protein than you currently are. The second takeaway is you can actually use fats and carbs to control your energy intake and actually either put on mass or burn fat. And lesson number 3 is do not try to do overkill with vitamins and minerals. It's really just important that you get the recommended amount for your body, and I would consult a dietitian or a nutritionist to get your recommended daily amount. And because I love you guys, and for those that have actually stuck to the end of the video, I want to give you a bonus tip, and that is your body's a machine. You feed it good and it'll actually make you feel good. But if you feed it trash, well, you're going to feel like trash. And it's smarter than you think, so make sure you always give it what it needs.